Have you ever felt something moving in your throat when you hiccup? That's not just a pinched nerve. It's a 300 million-year-old fish instinct trying to breathe inside your body. We never really evolved. We just hide sea monsters inside our skin. Hundreds of millions of years ago, Earth was no place for us. The world then belonged to water. The ocean wasn't just a home, it was a giant womb that provided everything. Protection from cosmic radiation, stable temperatures, and seemingly non-existent gravity. Down there, life was a graceful dance. Creatures breathed through gills, filtered oxygen from cold currents, and moved like cotton in the wind. Yet beneath this grace lurked true horror. Hunger was the supreme law. Ancient fish had to compete in an endless arena of death. Here, natural selection worked like a merciless executioner. Those who were slow became food. Those who were small had to hide. Amidst this despair, rebels emerged. Let's call them frontier explorers. One of them was a strange creature we know as Tiktaalik. Imagine a fish bored of water, or perhaps more accurately, a fish with no choice but to jump out to save its life from predators lurking in the dark depths. For Tiktaalik, land is no paradise. It's a blinding hell. Imagine you're that fish. You've just crawled up into the mud on the riverbank. The first thing that strikes you isn't an enemy, but the heavenly coal, the sun. Underwater, sunlight is merely a beautiful blue filter. On land, it's a deadly radiation capable of burning skin in minutes. Without the protection of water, the fish's moist bodies would dry out like crackers. Their internal organs would shrink. Even breathing would become suicidal, as each exhale would drain precious moisture from their bodies. Not only that, a second enemy emerged: gravity. In the water, Tiktaalik felt weightless, but as soon as his fins touched the ground, his weight seemed to multiply 1,000-fold. The earth seemed to be trying to pull him into its core. Every inch of movement was a tremendous muscular struggle. This was the most daring invasion in the history of the planet. These fish were trying to conquer a world that was physically designed to kill them. But evolution doesn't work by miracles, but by repeated failure. Millions of years passed, and those who failed died and became fossils. Those who survived, however few, passed on tiny mutations. Fins that were once merely paddles gradually hardened, formed joints, and eventually became legs. Ancient air sacs that were once merely buoyant devices were forced to work extra hard to become lungs. This was the ultimate betrayal. These aquatic creatures began to build defenses. They developed tough skin to withstand the sun's heat, forming the horny substance that would later become our nails and hair. They stopped being fish and began becoming something else. They left the womb of the ocean to pursue freedom on dry, harsh land. Now let's jump to the present. Look in the mirror. What do you see? A man named Ryan, or a modern human who thinks he's the smartest on Earth? Science has an answer that will blow our egos away. You're actually a fish in disguise. This grand theory isn't just about fossils, but about what's in our veins right now. Have you ever wondered why our blood is salty? Why do IV fluids in hospitals have to contain salt? That's because when our ancestors decided to leave the sea, they didn't actually leave the sea. They wrapped the sea and carried it inside their bodies. We are walking aquariums. We carry the chemical composition of the ancient ocean in our bloodstream, so our cells don't dry out on land. Even crazier if we consider the early stages of our lives in the womb. In the first weeks, a human fetus is almost indistinguishable from a fish fetus. We have strange projections in the neck area. In fish, these projections will develop into gills. In us, evolution remodeled them into jaw bones, ear bones, and parts of the throat. We don't discard old designs. We simply recycle them for new functions. Even the minor annoyances we experience frequently, like hiccups, are clear evidence of our ancient fish heritage. Hiccups occur due to sudden contractions of the respiratory muscles. This is a remnant of the respiratory mechanism of ancient amphibians, who had to close their lung passages when using their gills to prevent water from entering. Millions of years have passed, and we no longer have gills, but our nervous system still retains that bug or programming error from the past. We hiccup because our brains occasionally forget that we are no longer diving fish. So what does all this mean for us? Evolution is often depicted as a straight line toward perfection, from hunched apes to upright humans. That's a visual lie. Evolution is more like a very large and ancient banyan tree, just like the concept you mentioned, Rian. A tree with hanging roots, overlapping branches, and many branches that broke and died along the way. Humans are just one small branch at the top of that tree. We often feel powerful, like we can destroy the universe, but we are actually just fish that have survived the brutal forces of natural selection. We are incredibly fragile. If the Earth's temperature changes even slightly, or if the water in our bodies evaporates, we will return to being a helpless mass of dried flesh. Evolutionary history teaches us humility. We share the same genetic code as the fish in the market, the birds in the sky, and the banyan tree in the haunted forest. We all descend from the same ancestor, a single cell struggling to survive in the darkness of a primordial ocean. Science itself undergoes natural selection. Old, erroneous theories are toppled, replaced by stronger truths. We were once considered the center of the universe, but now we know we are merely the result of a long series of biological coincidences. The struggle of scientists, from Greek philosophers to Muslim scientists in the Golden Age, to Darwin and Wallace, is our attempt to understand who our true fathers are. So every time you walk on dry land, remember that every step you take is a victory over millions of years of suffering. You are a fish that refuses to give up. You are a fish that learned to walk, learned to think, and now is learning to understand its own origins. Never forget the sea, for it still flows in your veins.